Hi, welcome to Old Guys Gentlemen Flex Fountain Pens, episode number 53, I believe. And if that's wrong, I'll correct it on the screen. I had the opportunity of attending my first big pen show at the San Francisco International Pen Show at the Pullman Hotel in Redwood City, and it was a lot of fun. I'll be going to that one next year if I'm able to, and maybe some others along the way. I looked at a lot of different pens. I kind of was thinking of getting a pen with some Raden. Like, for instance, this is a Platinum Galaxy. It has this really nice, it's like a dusting. I don't know if they really spent that much time putting this on there. And that's really like tortoiseshell bits and pieces, along with a zillion coats of, I think it's called Urishi black lacquer. But it's really kind of pretty. I like the ones that have more of a design to it. And I came across this brand that I was really not that familiar with, Taccia. And I ended up getting it. It was not cheap. It's a Taccia Raden Reserve Limited Edition Autumn Brushes, number 44 out of 50. It's a numbered pen. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. 14 karat extra fine nib. In case you're wondering about the price, it was $1,495. How did I spend that much money on a pen? It's one of the problems when you collect for a while. You start developing an interest in something, and it's something that they're not a lot around, and a lot of people want them, and it drives the prices into stupid area. But I think Taccia does a pretty good job with packaging and the pen itself. You can see it comes in a really nice cardboard box. The Autumn and Winter pen draws on classic Raden, Macchia techniques to plant vivid imagery into each ebonite barrel. Utilizing the classic techniques of Raden, our master artists fastidiously inlay gold dust, abalone, and eggshells to conjure up the warm feelings of autumn and the refreshing air of winter. And this one is an autumn. The pen is 14 karat gold and partially coated with rhodium, matching the design of the Raden LE collection. There are 5 designs in total. Each design is limited to 50 pieces worldwide. Oh, all right. So I really do have 44 out of the limited. I guess that does make this kind of rare. And the card of the woman who sold it to me, she was extremely helpful. Good salesperson, Taccia. Give her a raise. And then a lifetime mechanical warranty on the product. She threw in a bottle of ink, which I gratefully accepted after spending all that amount of money, and also a pouch. Now, this is no ordinary pouch. And again, I may not use this because I like to have my pens out so I can see them, but it's a kimono pouch. And it's pretty cool. When I've been showing my friends, I usually keep it in here and then pull it out because it's my one and only kimono for a fountain pen. It's pretty well designed. Looks cool. Oh yeah, the box has there's like cushion underneath this kind of feltish soft material here. So this is the pen. You got to see it earlier on the rotation. I don't know if we can look a little bit better or closer. But someone spent a lot of time, the artist, inlaying these shards of abalone and interspersing somehow this gold dust. Now, I don't know how they get the kind of red on it. It's a... you can see that. You can see the number there. It's 44 out of 50, which is kind of interesting. They do that in by hand. as opposed to milling it in or something like that. It's got a nice clip on it. I doubt if I'll ever use that. I'll probably keep this you know, in the display case or in a well, I might carry it around in the pouch and probably something else to protect it. I had my wife with me, and she thinks I'm crazy for spending the amounts of money I do on these pens, but even she took a look at this thing and said, "That's a good one, you should get that one." Yes, that's a real pretty pen. In terms of dimensions, you know, rather than go through them all, what I'll do is I'll put them on the screen right now. Okay, other stuff that I like about it is it's a nice thick pen. You've seen the dimensions already, but it fits in my hand. Fits in my hand really nicely. Almost all my pens I like to post. I like to have the extra weight for some reason pulling down here, and to me it means I don't have to grip the section as much, because the weight on here is fulcruming, pivoting off of this portion of the finger here and then coming up against my fingers, and so it's pretty easy to write really lightly like that, or at least that's what I think I like it. And this one is unpostable, and maybe they make it that way because over time, if you post this a lot, you'd end up with a wear mark around here, and this way it won't wear. I think there are cartridges you can buy that fit in here, but they have a cartridge converter that works pretty well. So anyhow, let's see what this thing is like to write with. All right, so let's see how this pen writes. Set that off to the side. This is a Taccia. Raden. Limited edition. Reserve. Autumn Rushes. Did I say autumn rushes? Autumn brushes. Autumn brushes. With a 14 karat extra fine nib. And the ink. A little bit of writing here. I like to use Richard Binder's stroke width chart. You know, they're rating it as an extra fine, and I would say it's more than that. And by Western standards, it's probably like a triple extra fine. And in terms of line variation, there's nearly none. It's a very firm nib. I wouldn't want to push it more than that. That gets you is Oh, probably in between an extra fine and fine by Western standards. But you can kind of see here, it's a pretty firm nib. I'm putting more pressure on it on the downstrokes. Yeah, I am thinking about sending this off to a nib meister to put some flex into the nib. I've done that with several other pens and I've been pretty happy with the results. The main issue is the lead time to do it. I'll have to send this pen away and it'll sit somewhere for months and I won't get to appreciate it. But that still may be worth doing. A little bit more writing. I see a lot of reviewers do wetness of ink, and it writes a little bit on the dry side. That, again, is a function of the paper and the kind of ink and how much an extra fine nib puts down, which usually isn't that much. You know, if I did, like I was trying to spread the tines a little bit, you get a little bit more. But I won't be doing a lot of writing like that until this particular nib gets modified. So that's it. I hope you got some value out of this video. It really is a cool pen, and I probably will be buying more. You know, it's funny because it's little shards of seashells that you can probably find on the beach. But somebody spends a lot of hours designing it and a lot more hours putting it together, and to me I hate to say it's worth it, but I'd spend another $1,000 to $2,000 for a pen that writes well and looks this good. So that's it. Thank you for watching.